It is official. 24 years later, after the Tuck Rule Fumble game, is when the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl. 24 years after the Tuck Rule game, 23 years after its last Super Bowl appearance, because the payback for the NFL and for Jim Harbaugh being with the 49ers, being scripted to not win, is going to be the fact that the Raiders and Harbaugh will both be the next dynasty. For the league giving the Patriots the dynasty. For Jim Harbaugh getting screwed over with bad calls, with scripting from Kyle Williams, and what have you. That is the payback that we're referring to. After 59 Super Bowls, the payback for the Raiders, right after the email scandal, to be the next AFC team to win the Super Bowl since the year of the Gruden scandal. After 59 Super Bowls, after the Tuck Rule fumble, the Raiders make it back to the Super Bowl 23 years after the year of Super Bowl 37. Because as we've stated before, it is Las Vegas, it is Brady, it is emails, it is Payback, it is Fumble that have Gematria 23. Now the Gematria sequence of 59 and 23 has to do with the fact that after 59 prior Super Bowls, the Raiders will make it back to the Super Bowl 23 years later. It is Bengals that is Gematria 60 and 24. The first playoff game for Derek Carr was against the Bengals. The Raiders win the Super Bowl 24 years after the Tuck Rule game. Charles Woodson is number 24. The Raiders win 24 years later. Derek Carr made his debut against the New York Jets. The Jets, as Gematria 24. Tom Brady made his debut against the Jets. So did Derek Carr. Derek Carr suffered his first major injury, a fibula injury. Fibula as Gematria 24. It is clear as day that the Raiders will win the Super Bowl 24 years later after 59 prior Super Bowls. 137 months after the NFL debut of Derek Carr against the Jets is when he wins the Super Bowl in February of 2026. 137. It is Washington, D.C. that has Gematria 137. It was the Washington Redskins who the Raiders won their last Super Bowl against some time a while back. 109 months after the fibula injury in the 110th month is when the Raiders win the Super Bowl since they were the Los Angeles Raiders. Because Los Angeles has Gematria 109. So the fibula game, the NFL debut, in the first playoff game against the Bengals. The 49 months later from the playoff game is when the Raiders win the Super Bowl against Dallas, because Dallas is Gematria 49. Well, we had to include that again because of the fact that the Raiders' last Super Bowl championship game against Washington, and it's Washington that has Gematria 49, so the opponent of Super Bowl 18 is going to be a big reason, again, why the Raiders win the Super Bowl 49 years after Super Bowl 11 in tribute to John Madden. Not only that, Derek Carr's NFL debut. The Raiders scored 24 points in that victory. Clue, the Raiders win the Super Bowl 24 years after the Tuck Rule game. Now we can compute the amount of time from the victory against the Kansas City Chiefs to the Super Bowl, February the 20th of 2014 to around 2026. So that would, that would be 135 months after his first NFL win. 135 months later, Derek Carr defeats the Cowboys. And the reason why he defeated the Chiefs has everything to do with the Chiefs being the Dallas Texans. The Chiefs for the Dallas Texans, he gets hurt, he misses the playoff game against the Houston Texans, and he defeats the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. That's one of the biggest riddles out there for the Raiders winning the Super Bowl. For Super Bowl 60. The Tuck Rule game shows everything. The Tuck Rule game shows everything. The Raiders scored 13 points in that game against the Patriots. The AFC would be 0-3 since the Bills win. The AFC is going to be 1-3 since the Bills win, because LA is Gematria of 13. The Tuck Rule game. January the 19th of 2002. A 42 date numerology. The Raiders win the Super Bowl 42 years later. John Madden left the Raiders at 42 years of age. That game was a 42 date numerology. The ball, when the tuck fumble happened, okay, actually what it is. Okay, where did the tuck play happen? Okay, so the tuck game. Vinatieri kicks a 23-yard field goal. The Raiders make it back to the Super Bowl some 23 years later. All the references noted, 59 prior Super Bowls. There's a total of 29 points that game. The Raiders are going to become the 29th team in the AFC to win the Super Bowl championship. Team number 29. Maybe they'll be wearing black in that Super Bowl against Dallas, just like that Thanksgiving game when they defeated the Dallas Cowboys. You know, Eric Allen overheard Tom Brady talking. Marcus Allen, Super Bowl MVP. Bruce Allen, the Washington executive, the email leaks. The Bills and Josh Allen win the Super Bowl. The next team to win the Super Bowl after the Bill in the AFC, after the Bills win at LA, it's going to be the LA Raiders. Eric Allen in the talk roll now we're talking about with the whole Allen email riddle. Where was the ball at for the tuck play? Football, Pro Football Reference. Joe Burrow takes a scripted sack, and just like that, the Titans are back in business. You just got to go to the play-by-play sequence. Play-by-play, where is it? Okay, the talk play, the fourth quarter. Where was the overruling of the play? So that was at the Oakland 42, folks. At the Oakland 42 is when the tuck rule play occurred, at the Oakland 42-yard line. At the 42-yard line, Tom Brady fumbled and the Raiders won the football game. At the 42-yard line, the Raiders win the Super Bowl 42 years later. The tuck rule occurred at the 42-yard line. The game was on a date numerology of 42. The Raiders will become 4-2 in the Super Bowl some 40 years later. The tuck game was at the 42-yard line, and John Madden leaves the Raiders at 42 years of age. That was a fumble. The Brady fumble, having Gematria 46 as payback. We got to bring in a Michigan coach that Charles Woodson scooped it up, whatever, right? Forced the fumble, whatever. So you know the Raiders win Super Bowl 60. And Charles Woodson will be 49 years of age during that Super Bowl. When he's going to be 49 years of age, that's a clue for Dallas, that's a clue for Washington. Charles Woodson, born October the 7th, 10-7, the 107th seasons when the Raiders win back-to-back. So Charles Woodson and Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines, it's the Wolverines that's got Gematria 52. Or Wolverines by itself, I should say, has Gematria 52. Talk having Gematria of 10. I wonder what 10 and 55 are in this equation. Talk call, talk rule, you name it. Talk rule has Gematria 30. It's the Raiders that defeat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. It's talk rule that has Gematria of Charles. Maybe the Cowboys 66 season. Charles has too much as 66. Arbaugh has too much as 66. That's why they defeat the Cowboys. Now Woodson. Charles Woodson, the full name. Charles Woodson having Jamacha 63, and the fact that Buffalo will be the last AFC team to win the Super Bowl. Buffalo's got Jamacha 63. How many total interceptions with the Raiders? We can take a look at that in his NFL playing statistics. 24 years later, not by coincidence at all by design. After 23 seasons later, after losing to the Bengal Tiger, is when the Raiders win the Super Bowl. It's got his playoff totals too, so computing his interceptions. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 17, 18, that's 22. That's 27 interceptions with the Raiders in the regular season, which is the gematria of Buffalo. But how about the postseason? It doesn't show the postseason though, but at 27, that's going to be a significant reference to the last AFC winner. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills, which Woodson has gematria 33. It's the Bills that's got gematria 33. And the Raiders would be the next team to win the Super Bowl. The Bills having gematria of 87, and the Jets, when he made his NFL playing debut, it is the Jets that also has gematria of 87. And this is the connection to Derek Carr's birthday on the 87th day of the year on the 28th day. So March the 28th, his birthday is the 87th day of the year. The Bills win the Super Bowl, and the Raiders are the next team in the AFC to win the Super Bowl. He made his NFL debut against the Jets. And of course, his career is all planned for Derek Carr. It is. And the Raider dynasty is planned as well. Because Brady and Carr made their debuts against the New York Jets. The New York Jets has gematria 63. Tom Brady, the dynasty emerged after the New York Jets. It's Charles Woodson that also has gematria 63. So the New York Jets have a connection to eventually a Super Bowl win, and definitely the Buffalo Bills winning the last championship for the AFC at LA. Before the LA Raiders win, the tuck game at the 42-yard line. Major clue. Number 24. That's the Illuminati kicker right there.